your host, Dubble Krown.
You don't get it, do you? You just don't get it. Freedom of speech is under attack. So, since I started doing New Age commentary, alternative media, if you like, I've noticed some weird things happening, some strange things happening. Everything that I say on YouTube is fed back to me by the mainstream media. Something weird is going on. Now, I kind of accept that, the alternative media, they might listen to me and they might pick up some of my ideas and use those ideas. You kind of accept it from the alternative media because, we're all saying the same things. We've all got the same ideas. So we kind of share information. But to have the mainstream media relay what you've just said back to you in some kind of warped, twisted fashion, it has a psychological impact on you. And so be warned, if you want to do alternative media, if you want to do New Age commentary, expect everything that you say to be fed back to you in some kind of twisted, demented format, straight from the mainstream media. So we are facing pressures which prevent us from speaking our truth. And one of those pressures is political correctness. So you might have had a similar experience when you're doing YouTube videos. You're always wondering, well, should I say this? Should I say that? You start to restrict the words that you're going to use in case you might offend somebody. So you're policing yourself, you're compromising, you're no longer speaking your truth, but you're speaking a version of your truth, which is, more socially acceptable. And this is a real pressure that might be affecting the quality of your videos, and it has a psychological impact on you. But it's not just political, well, it is political correctness, but there's another thing going on where people claim to be offended on behalf of other people. For example, a man who claims to be offended on behalf of all women, or somebody from a minority group who claims to be offended on behalf of, other minorities. And this is happening more and more, and people are policing each other. And it's a real threat to freedom of speech. And there is yet another pressure which stops you from speaking your truth, and that's this idea that you have to conform, you have to fit in. You don't want to be seen as weird, as a freak. You don't want to be seen as radical. So that word radical, it means to have views or opinions which are significantly different from the norm, and they are applying these kind of pressures on you to stop you speaking freely, to make you conform, to make you fit in. And it's not just the adults, they're doing this in the schools. The teachers are asked to look out for pupils who might be showing signs of radicalization. And this is yet another attempt to restrict people's ability to express themselves. And yet another thing which holds you back from speaking freely, which prevents you from expressing yourself, yet another thing is being monitored, constantly monitored, or constantly being tested, always having to comply. It might be coming from your workplace, from your boss, always having to fit in and comply, meet regulations. This testing, this monitoring, being asked to jump through hoops and obstacles which are just there to make your life more difficult, to make things awkward for you. All of this prevents you from expressing yourself and speaking freely, and it blocks freedom of speech. So freedom of speech, use it or lose it. Thanks for listening.